2 people shot dead, while 2 others sustained gunshot wounds in renewed clashes at Nkonya in the Volta region. Government says it is considering acquiring lands that are being at the center of the protracted dispute between residents of Alavanyo and Nkonya for years.
Reprisal attack from the other side. So we've been able to calm down tensions from January until now. So we thought that we have found a solution to the problem until this unfortunate incident happened.
The attacks came few hours after the Interior Ministry announced its periodic review of curfew in the area. The Volta Regional and District Security Councils have been engaging in series of meetings as they look for lasting peace for the area. So what is the way forward to ending this prolonged bloodshed between residents of Nkonya and Alavanyo? Is government's plan to buy off the land that is at the center of this violence the surest way to go? What short and medium-term measures are being put in place to prevent further killings in the area? We'll be getting some updates from the area and also speak with the Volta Regional Minister, the police, plus some independent analysis on this matter. This is today's big story. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. The renewed violence occurred barely hours after a curfew imposed on the area. In view of the violence there was revealed on Wednesday. Police say the perpetrators of the gun violence are from Alavanyo, a rival community in the area. Alavanyo and Nkonya have been under a dusk-to-dawn curfew over a protracted land dispute spanning almost a century. Now, Volta Regional Minister Dr. Archibald Lecha joins me on the phone to tell us what government is doing about this. Good evening to you, Honorable Minister. Many thanks for your time on today's big story. All right, so let's listen to the minister who spoke with us earlier, telling us that acquiring the land as a means of halting the protracted dispute is the surest way to go.
It is alleged that attackers were coming from the other side of the conflict, which is Alavanyo. 2 persons, Yao Akombo, age 40, and Donkomausi Prince, age 31, were shot dead. There's another victim called Richard Kalabi, age 21, who sustained injuries, was on admission at the hospital, but is now at the regional Volta Regional Hospital in Go, where he's being operated on. Bodies of the deceased persons have been deposited at the Urara Government Hospital for autopsy. All the victims are confirmed to be coming from Nkonya, Asache. The cause of incident not yet known, but we know that there has been an outstanding, a very protracted land dispute between some 2 families of Alavanyo Peme and Nkonya Tai. Relative calm has returned to Nkonya community as the police and military detachment have intensified their patrols as at the time that the ground was visited this morning and afternoon by some members of the Regional Security Council. The District Security Council also had a meeting, and the situation is
The minister is assuring Ghanaians that this issue will be treated as a criminal case.
It's not something new, but we are just shocked that after the January murder, assurances were given that there were not going to be reprisal attacks, but it has happened. So we are treating it as crime. And we are not eating, it's not land, it's not about land, it's about people killing others unlawfully. So we are looking at the criminal aspect. Whilst we are working in consultation with the Regional Peace Council to look at the peace aspect. But you know, sometimes there is no peace without justice. So we need to look at the justice, because you remember when we went to the area, we were being accused of not trying to find out the perpetrators of these heinous crimes. So this time the police are very much committed to getting to the bottom of this crime. We take it that there was attempted murder and murder. I'm not a lawyer, but they attempted to murder people. They succeeded in murdering 2 so far.
Let's do some analysis. Ivy Setoje is our correspondent on the beach. She joins me via phone. Good evening to you, Ivy. We understand that the minister, the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Lecha, has been briefing the media. What has he been telling you?
Well, the minister has been briefing the media. He has asked for calm in Nkonya and Alavanyo. According to the minister, Security Service and the Peace Council are collaborating to make sure that peace is restored permanently to Alavanyo and Nkonya. So he is asking the residents in both towns to remain calm as the Security Service does the respect to everything possible to make sure that calm is restored to the area.
But how would you assess the situation now? Is it calm? Are people still living in fear?
Well, according to the people, when we spoke with them earlier, some of them said they are still living in fear. But as at around 5 p.m., they told me, when I spoke to them, they told me they are now okay. They are going about their normal businesses, and they are just waiting for the regional minister and his team to have their meetings and to do something about the situation. So right now, calm has been restored to the Nkonya township and as well as Alavanyo.
Well, we know 2 people are injured. How are they faring? Have you visited the hospital?
One person is currently at the Bosa Hospital in Boda Trafaga receiving treatment. He is responding to treatment assistance.
And how about the deceased? Have you spoken with their family? What have you gathered from them?
We've not been able to meet their families, but according to friends, they are doing well. They are asking for justice. They are asking for the minister to bring justice to them, especially those who were killed.
Ivy, we know the police has been on the beat and all these meetings with DISEC and the Regional Security Council. But what has the police been saying about this? Are they firm on the ground? Are they in charge of the violence or the problem on the ground?
Well, the police were not able to speak to the media at the press conference, but earlier phone conversation with the crime officer, he is saying that everything is under control. The police are deployed to the area as well as the military. And so for now, security is tight in Alavanyo and also especially in Nkonya.
There are those who feel that the police is overwhelmed with this issue. I mean, from your observation, is the police overwhelmed or they are indeed in control of the situation?
For me, the police are doing their best in this situation to make sure that peace is restored. The security, their personnel are all over there, and they are doing their best.
And this land minister, the Volta Regional Minister, who says that government intends to buy off the land that is creating this problem. Did he tell you, did he give you any timelines as to when they intend to do this to bring lasting solution to the area?
Well, he didn't say that. He said government might or may buy the land or take over the land to do something meaningful with it. If that is the only thing that can bring lasting solution, maybe government may have to consider that. But as to when government will do that or will be able to do that, he is yet to communicate that to the media.
All right, many thanks to you, Ivy Setoji, for the update. We'll be coming back to you in our subsequent bulletin for more. But you heard Ivy Setoji, who is updating us on the violence at Nkonya, where two factions from Nkonya and Alavanyo, and two people, we are told, are dead and two more people are injured. She said that one is still at the hospital receiving treatment, but the police has not spoken yet on the matter. But what she can tell us is that the police is at the grasp of the issue. The police is in control. The police has deployed more men in the area, and they are picking intelligence as well to avoid a recurrence. We'll take a break on today's big story. We'll be back with some more analysis. This is today's big story. It's still talking about the clash in between the residents of Nkonya and Alavanyo. And joining me on the phone is Volta Regional Minister Dr. Archibald Lecha, for further analysis. Good evening to you, Honorable Minister.
Good evening. Good evening to your listeners.
Honorable, what short to long-term measures is government considering to end this protracted violence between the Nkonya and Alavanyo?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think it's fair to make the point that this is not a war between the people of Nkonya and the people of Alavanyo. It's been a land dispute between some few families of Alavanyo, Kwame, and Nyatai, and this has generated into violence. And efforts have been in the past, and we have also made a lot of attempts at bringing peace to the area. Unfortunately, January this year, we had a murder case in Alavanyo, and which is still under investigation. And we've been working very hard to make sure that there are no reprisal attacks. We've been to the community several times, and we are assured by the chiefs and people that this was not going to happen again. We had the presence of the military and the police on the ground, and they've been monitoring the situation and giving us reports. But unfortunately, yesterday evening, what we did not expect to happen again happened, where 3 people were attacked and 2 died, and one of them is in hospital. We want to appeal to the people to remain calm, even as government tries to resolve the situation. The Peace Council has been very active in the area, together with the Regional Security Council and many stakeholders, including the Peace Forum made up of citizens from Nkonya and citizens from Alavanyo, to the extent that there will be friendly football matches between the two sides and visits between the two sides. So I know that majority of the people, the chiefs and people, are committed to the peace process. But as you know, you may have 1 or 2 partners among the community who are trying to foment trouble.
Definitely.
So we have instructed the security agencies to see this as a crime committed, and therefore they should investigate to get to the bottom of it, so that we can identify the perpetrators and bring them to justice, so that there'll be justice, as well as in addition to going about building the peace in the community. So our men are on the ground. They are giving us reports. I just had reports from the regional crime officer, and we are doing everything possible to make sure the situation does not escalate.
Honorable, you are considering purchasing the land at the center of this friction. How soon should we expect this?
No, I think that this is just one of the considerations. There was even a forum on this suggestion years back, whether government acquiring the land dispute will be a solution to the problem. And that has not been concluded. Whether the communities are willing to let the land go is another issue. So some work needs to be done to find out exactly whether, when that happens, whether that will bring an end to the protracted dispute. That has not been proven yet. and government has not taken any firm decision on that. That cannot be done without a consultation with the community. So we are doing a lot of dialogue. We are doing a lot of forum. We have planned to even meet some stakeholders from the community in the next couple of days to address some of these issues. Anytime we meet them, the commitment is there. But you know, once in a while you get some miscreants trying to disturb the peace. So we want to make sure that this situation does not escalate. And we are appealing to even the citizens of Nkonya-Alavanyo who are not home, not to panic, that the situation is under control, and we are closely monitoring it. As for the long-term situation, the long-term solution, we are still debating as to how to get a final solution to this. Because every time we make the effort, we are sure that that is the end of it. But then something happens once in a while. The last one was January, and then the most recent one was yesterday. The last one was an attack on an Alavanyo citizen who was murdered on the farm, and this was an attack on an Nkonya citizen. So it's quite unfortunate, but we will continue to make the effort together with the Regional Security Council, the Regional Peace Council, the District Security Council, with support from national security. We think that eventually we'll get to the bottom of this matter. But first of all, we must take this as a crime and investigate the crime and try to identify the perpetrators. So
have any arrests been made, and are we going to see heavy security presence in the area?
There is heavy security presence. No arrest has been made yet, but we are getting some information that there may be some witnesses to the crime, and we are trying to get information to identify the perpetrators.
I'm sure many are living in fear, and if you listen to our correspondent, she confirms so. What is government doing to assure the people in the area that everything is under control?
Yeah, I think we are appealing to them. We're meeting the chiefs, the queen mothers. I must confess that the traditional leaders are very cooperative and supportive of our efforts. And this afternoon we met the chairman of the Regional Peace Council, and we're getting various options which will be rolling out in the next few days. So we will continue our efforts as peace building, even as we investigate the crime and try to bring the perpetrators to justice.
But also, you intend to deal with this situation as a criminal one. And,
yes.
And I'm also aware that you're also exploring dialogue on the other hand. How do you marry these two so the situation doesn't degenerate into a bigger violence?
Yeah, in fact, thank you very much. Both sides are of the opinion that people who commit this crime should be punished. And both sides support the fact that these are criminal offenses that we need to identify the perpetrators and bring them to face the law. So there's agreement on both sides that these are crimes that need to be punished, because these are not decisions taken by communities who commit crime. These are crimes committed by individuals, and therefore the community is in support of our effort to identify the culprits and bring them to book. The only problem we are having is the fear in the community. We believe that people are afraid to reveal the identity of the perpetrators, but we want to give them the assurance that the identities will not be revealed. We shall keep the identities confidential, even as we go about our investigation.
But Honorable, this move to probably buy the land that is at the center of this friction, it sounds very good, and it's something that a lot of people have lauded. But it doesn't look like an easy path, though, because in case you agree on buying it, which family would you buy the land from, and who will get the money? And of course, if we don't manage this well, it could also turn into something else. I'm sure you agree with me.
Yes, I agree. It's not an easy option. It's just one of the options being explored. And sometimes when we get to the community, this is a suggestion coming from the communities themselves. But we still have to look at it and make sure that it's going to be a solution to the problem, but that it will not rather aggravate the situation. So a lot more work needs to be done before we can draw those conclusions. But as of now, the last time we visited the community, for example, the Alavanyo people told us that government should come and take the land in use for national interest. And when we got to the Nkonya side, there were also opinions like that. But obviously, there will be one or two people, some few people in the community who may not be in agreement. That is why we need to tread cautiously.
All right, many thanks to you, Honorable Minister, Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Letcher. We're extremely grateful for your time on today's Big Story. So we've been talking about renewed clashes between some factions in Alavanyo and in Nkonya, and we are told this is it's a piece of land that is at the center of this friction, and we're told by the Volta Regional Minister that calm has returned to the place, but indeed the police will treat this as a criminal matter. And he explains further that there's also dialogue going on by the side to ensure and find lasting solution to this violence. You recall that this violence has been there for about a century now, and of course, so he explains the importance of getting a lasting solution to this problem, so we don't visit or revisit this violence again. And the minister made one thing clear, that of course there are suggestions that government should buy off this land that is creating problems, but he says they're still having consultations with public opinion leaders, the chiefs and the queens of the area, to come to an agreement if that is the way to go. And so we're still monitoring issues in Alavanyo and in Nkonya, and we'll bring you updates on the very last minute of this issue, and we'll find lasting solutions to this problem. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching today's Big Story. Have a good evening.